Hey everybody, welcome to another episode of the Articulators roundtable discussion of toy photography with some of the best in the genre. I selected three photographers, three amazing toy photographers to hang with me tonight. Each of them and myself has selected a photo based on a theme, and we'll talk about what makes these images great, talk about some of the techniques used, and hopefully give you some ideas that you can incorporate into your own work. Tonight's theme is light. It's a kind of a broad theme, like last episode was focus. Sometimes they'll be more specific, sometimes they'll be more broad like this, but there's lots to talk about when it comes to light and photography. So let me get onto it and introduce my guests. My first guest is a guy who, he's in relative terms somewhat new to the toy photography community. I mean, he's been here a year and a half. I think he started sometime early last year, I believe. But he has grown by huge leaps in roughly a year and a half to become very well known for shooting lots of lines, including Black Series, Marvel Legends, but especially as of late, he's been doing some amazing shots of Mezco figures, Popeye, Gomez, the Pink Skulls. You're going to see another one, depending on when this goes live. He just showed us the great one that he's putting up tomorrow. So his tag on Instagram is @JasonBMichael. And strangely enough, his name is also Jason Michael. Jason, how you doing, man?
I'm very well, thank you. That was an awesome introduction, man. I was sitting here all nervous. I was like, I have no idea what I'm going to say next.
We've been taking a look at some of Jason's work. This is some amazing stuff here. And you can see, like, you're going to see each one of these guys that I'm bringing on tonight. The subject is light, and each one of these guys is fantastic at lighting, which is kind of why I picked them. They know what they're talking about when it comes to this stuff. Great stuff, man. Love what you've been doing. There's a lot of Mezco here. There's a little bit of everything here. You got some NECA here. You got some SH Figure Arts, and even got some Muppets, which is awesome. Yep, fantastic stuff. All right. My second guest also resides in the north. Jason's from Canada. I don't know if I said that or not, but Jason is from Canada. That doesn't count against him at all. In fact, it's great. My second guest also comes from the north, not as far north as Canada. He's from Detroit, Michigan. I love his work because he's experimental. He always has clever, well-executed concepts, and he shoots everything under the sun like I do, which is why I love him. From Lego to Black Series, Mythic Legions, Hot Toys, and lately he's been doing some beautiful Star Wars ship compositing work, which I haven't even talked to him about. I got to talk to him about that. We also share a hair and a facial hairstyle, profession in marketing advertising, a love of Mythic Legions, and a birthday, the real Star Wars Day, May 25th. It's Corona 4. Nate Strong. Nate, how's it going, man?
Hey, man, I'm just so honored to be here and blown away by that introduction. I don't feel worthy. And to say my lighting inspires and
absolutely. Well, look at some of this stuff. This is fantastic. This is some of Nate's work here. I love that Ahsoka Maul shot. That's fantastic. It's great angles. You've always got a great, unique take on a figure. You know what I mean? Like, I'll see people putting up shots of certain figures, and it's always something you've got a unique take on it. Either it's a concept. You got to check out Nate's latest shot with the Nosferatu figure from Mezco. Just another great idea, great concept, well executed. As I said, it's always fun stuff. And you're all over the place like me. We don't specialize in anything at all. It's just whatever we got, whatever is floating our boat at the time. Which I think makes it fun. Thanks for being on.
Really coming from you, Trevor, it means a ton. So it's extremely appreciated. Thank you very much.
I appreciate you being on. I believe that I owe my next guest some gas money from carting my ass around from at San Diego Comic-Con from last year. Really, seriously. He's another great experimenter, going from humorous, mixed line stuff to super action to beautiful portrait shots, hot toys, Black Series, everything you can think of. He'll take chances like balancing a $150 sold out figure over a pool of dye, which we were just talking about, and maybe we'll touch on when I bring him on here. Also originally from my neck of the woods, New York, but now resides in, I think it's Virginia. It's Yasuki, don't say Yasuki, Yasuki 79, Fountain Lightly.
All right.
What's up, man? How's it going? Yasuke, right? Yasuke 79.
Yeah, Yasuke.
Yasuke.
Yeah, you got it.
All right.
I've always wondered how to say
I want
it.
to pronounce it right.
Now
We're looking at some of Felton's work here. Really also incredibly creative and just all over the place. Like there's humor there with the Popeye and Frozen. That was a great series. So Felton's got some great behind the scenes stuff. He also posts a lot of his behind the scenes, and it's and Nate does that too. I think Jason, you've been doing that too, right? Here and there. Yeah. You always do that. Yeah, Jason's got video stuff behind the scenes. It's great to see that kind of stuff. It's just really fun to see the work that goes into a product and a shot. So great stuff, guys. I really appreciate you being here, being part of the show. Our theme tonight is light. It's a broad term, but I, didn't want to limit us. Each of you, I consider to be like me, constant learners, experiments on the path of light. Experimenters on the path of light. Already great at this aspect of photography. So I think we got a great panel for the subject. So without further ado, let's get to it. I think our first pick is Jason's pick. There we go.
Beautiful.
This is by Karen May Martin, and I've almost covered up her name, but that stupid logo in the corner, maybe I can take that out so you can see it. There we go. At Karen May Martin, who does some great whimsical stuff and just really cool, not your standard toys. She always finds some interesting stuff to shoot and does some great combinations. So, Jason, this was your pick. Tell us a little bit about what made you pick this shot.
This is a shot that I go back to regularly to just look at how she actually lit it. And one of the reasons why is because it's funny and also sensual in the way that she's actually, expressing this kind of story. Poison Ivy is normally, some sort of a seductress. We've seen her like in many, many comic books, but having the piranha plant from Mario Brothers there as well,
it's so great.
It kind of deflates that a little bit, and it turns it into more of a comedy. And I've always appreciated that. And it's a lounge type setting. Now you could interpret the picture itself, as Poison Ivy singing into a microphone or actually just talking to her plants like she would normally do.
Okay.
I choose to see it as her actually kind of in a lounge setting, crooner type situation, and that's why you'd have that top light coming down and just raining.
Yeah.
And it has that dusty quality to it as well, like it's in a basement.
Yeah, that diffused light. Yeah, exactly.
Very and I always really love that. And also the fact, like you said, light is this broad term. And so, yes, I was looking at the lighting, but the fact that she lightens the mood by having some video game Nintendo character there as well, I thought it was very, very fun, because a setting like this normally would be a heavy setting where you're actually kind of being, set in a trance by this woman that's singing to somebody. But with that piranha plant in the background, it kind of just makes it a little bit funnier. You're just wondering, what is she saying that's actually, making this, maybe the plant's trying to eat her, or is it actually singing along? There's so much you can get from the picture. And I thought that, the fact that she was able to accentuate Poison Ivy, from the neck up, but also have a little bit of that kind of touching piranha plant in the back as well. It seemed like that kept them in unison as well. So I've always loved this shot for that.
It's a really well set thing, and it's interesting your take on it, because I know with Poison Ivy shots, it's always it's a cool character to see animated and in the comics and stuff like that. It's always a little goofy because she's got these plants and they're like these killer plants and stuff, and she's all dressed in green. So it's got to, like you said, always kind of be seductive a little bit. It's got to be, make her look sexy. So this is, I love I didn't know that was the Mario plant. I thought that was, what's his name? Yeah, and actually I didn't know that was the Mario plant. At first I thought it was, what the hell was the play, the movie?
Yeah.
Little Shop of Horrors. But yeah, I mean, to take this, the singing thing is an interesting take on it. And I didn't think that. I was thinking more like it's like a greenhouse or something like that. But to combine these two styles of figures like this is just, from a concept standpoint, is great. From a light standpoint, I really love the diffused light that's coming in from the right there, and it just hits the plant in the background. Plant's a little out of focus, so you can still clearly see poison ivy. But it's just enough to light the figures, and the rest of it is kind of, they're almost silhouetted against a black, almost black dark background, which is really, really nice. Anybody else got a take on this or thoughts? Or
it's a beautiful shot. I love the framing, like Jason. It's perfect. It's. You said what's the character's name? You just said it a little while ago.
Poison ivy?
Plant.
The Little Shop. Oh, the Little Shop of Horrors, or the Mario.
The Mario plant.
That's a piranha plant. Yeah.
The
piranha plant. Right.
The focus is perfect on poison ivy.
Yeah.
You got. I'm not sure what f-stop she shot at, but it's perfect enough detail in the background to show the plant.
Right.
And it's just a smooth shot all around. I just love it.
Yeah.
And it's two lights. She's definitely got a backlight for a little bit of rim light on the upper left of that plant. It doesn't.
I was just gonna say
actually, it is affecting poison ivy a little bit. She just gives her a little rim light on the arm. I don't know if she's using a bounce card or something there too to get a little extra light. I mean, it's pretty well controlled, so it's tough to say, but it looks to me like a 2-light shot for the most part.
That could be a real plant in the background there, and I think that maybe she might be next to a window, so that could actually just be ambient light hitting.
You think that's natural light? Yeah,
that might be not the one on the right hand side, but on the left.
Okay, gotcha. So I'm looking at that and thinking it's a little bit of a spot, and maybe on the right it's more natural. Like she's got, she's a natural shooter. I don't think she's doing a lot of, unless it's just post-production color correction and thing. I think that light. I don't know. I'm asking you. Not sure if that light coming in, streaming in from the side, the spotlight is. I think that's got to be in the shot, because that's really.
Because she was using that technique for a while. I mean, she's got a few other shots like that where you have light that's coming in from one source, So she had a whole series with Nintendo that she did that was really fantastic. But I think there has to be lighting, some sort of lighting equipment there, even if it's just a small little house light or something like that. But there is something there.
A little bit of fog machine or some atmosphere aerosol or something that just really makes that light come alive. And what's that?
I'm sorry.
Go ahead.
That's tricky too, because sometimes if you shoot at too not too shallow, but let's say a higher f-stop, you won't be able to capture those light rays like that unless you have a high intensity beam.
Correct. Right.
So she's got a good grasp on how to capture both that and have everything in focus the way she did.
Yeah, definitely. It's the right depth, because the piranha plant is menacing, but I mean, it's poison ivy, so it's not there to do anything to her, and any lower and it would look like it was trying to eat her or something. But it's just really perfectly balanced compositionally. It's really, really nice.
It's singing backup, right, Jason?
Huh?
It's singing backup, right?
It could be that too, man. That's awesome. That's the other thing that's really, really cool, is that
that's
you can
true.
take it so many different ways, because that could be a backup singer right there. I love it.
Yeah,
I can't
just
now. I
did
can't
this
unsee
one.
that whole concept now. That I like that.
Yeah, I just love the light and that background plant just perfectly draws your eye right to poison ivy, the subject. So it's all around compositionally lit beautifully, obviously.
Now, what is the figure? Is that like a die cast?
I don't know. It's DC bombshells. So to me, that could technically be just like one of those
Like a little
small
statuette?
statues.
Yeah.
Because if I'm not mistaken, I have that plant, the piranha plant,
Okay.
and it's about
A couple
4
inches, right? Like 3 or 4
exactly.
inches. Yeah.
So to me, she
Really
must
cool.
be using the macro lens for this one.
Yeah, definitely. yeah, that's a macro shot for sure. Yeah, I love the diffused light. It's really, really, really beautiful shot. Excellent.
Yep, Karen
shot.
does great work. She's a great.
She
person.
really does. I would let me. You know what? I'm gonna try and do this. I haven't done this on the other shows, but I'm gonna try and do it. I'm gonna try and add.
Great mashup too.
What's that?
It's a great mashup too.
It really is. I'm going to try to share another tab and just show Karen's page really quick.
What are you drinking?
Thanks, pretty girl.
There
It's
we
on
go.
whiskey, and I'm getting out my Sapporo.
Nice.
Me too.
Oh,
Oh,
And this it's the meeting of the Nosferatu
yeah.
Anonymous there too as well. Sorry,
Moving
Karen.
the wrong way. It's like I've never been in front of a camera before.
I know everything's backwards. It's really kind of annoying, actually.
That
But
baby
yeah, you
Yoda-
can just look at her work and just know she knows what she's doing with light. It's just
Yeah.
really, really nice stuff. And again, another person who just explores different things. I really appreciate people who, just try new stuff. It's always, she's got a whimsical style, which is, to have, if you're going to have, a style, that's her stuff. But yeah, I mean, it's the Lord of the Rings. She's got Mario. She's got.
Yeah. She recently put on a shot of the Winter Soldier, which is just a portrait, and it's amazing. It's the detail on it is really good.
Oh, there we go. Yeah. Yeah, beautiful.
Look at that. And I mean,
Awesome.
look at the focus on that, and the light. The focus is what is she shooting at right there? That's got to be at least f2, f2.5 maximum.
that's good.
Eyes
Look
look
at the little
great.
shine in the eyes. I don't know if that was added in post, but that's awesome.
Flashlights, yeah. Very cool. I've never seen her shoot 1.6 before. I could be wrong, but
Yeah, that stood out to me too. For
Right.
that reason. Yeah.
all right, let's get back
Yeah,
to.
I always love it when she posts a new shot. I'm always the first one, like, yep, there's Karen put out something. It's awesome. I love it.
Okay, let me get this back in the stream. There we go. So that was Jason's selection. I think next up, is Nate's
Yep.
selection,
Yes.
right? Jerry K. Jerry K. 52 at 529_J. And Jerry does a lot of link shots, fantasy stuff. He does a lot of different stuff, but I always think of him as doing, this is a Goblin Slayer and the link stuff. Some of my favorite stuff that he does, because just he's awesome at lighting. He's done some beautiful stuff, and I just think his lighting style just fits this fantasy genre so well. But Nate, tell us why you selected this.
Yeah, lots of reasons. But yeah, like you said, Jay is, I pulled several of his shots and had to narrow it down to this one. I mean, he does, I love a lot of the backlight stuff he does is so good. But a few reasons on this one. One, the one that really, really stood out was you don't see a lot of, to me, mixes of warm and cool light. And this is done so beautifully with the warm yellow goldeny glow on the left side, and it just it's beautiful, just great rim on the knight's armor, and then that cool spotlight white light that's coming down from above. It's just fantastic. And so between the I guess the color tones, the intensity is perfect for the shot. Soft. It's, you know, very, like you said, very magical. It lends itself to the fairy tale nature. And obviously, you've got with direction. There's a couple directional things going on too, with the soft from the left, and then the spotlight coming down. So you've got, you know, you just got so much going on here all at once, but it's just melded perfectly.
Yeah, I think this is another probably too light shot. I don't see. He might have something bouncing on the back of. Maybe he's got another light on the back of the princess. There, it is a princess, right? I'm not Goblin Slayer. Is not my forte, so I don't know. But I'm wondering if he's using a snoot or something for that top light, because that is perfectly, and we are trying to teach here. So this is a snoot. Just kind of narrows the light down to a very small. There's my camera. And I'm wondering if he's using something like that. In this, or I mean, it could just be a loom cube or something like that with a barn door on it or something like that. But it's perfectly just beamed like right down onto the front of Goblin Slayer.
Yeah,
the arm.
Yeah, I imagine there's something off to the left behind that, whatever, that windowy.
Yeah, definitely. He's got a nice warm light coming out from behind the window there.
And then this, like you said, a snoot from up top. Maybe
he might be bouncing
on the right.
He might be bouncing at the yellow, that same light from the left onto the right, onto the back of the princess. She's got a little bit of a rim light there. Yeah, it's hard to tell if that's a light or if that's just a card or something. But just that
the ground too is just you know.
Yeah,
it's just so nice. It's just Jay. I always call him Jay. I hope that's. I think that's good with Jay or Jerry.
Jerry, yeah.
But and. I mean, he's such a champion too of everybody else. He's such a great supporter. And Jason, I like what you said about Karen.
Totally.
Light, as in sort of the lighthearted. Jay's got a great, you know, I think outlook and lighthearted take on stuff too. So I definitely appreciate that about him and his work as well.
That's great. Yeah, that's perfect. Yeah, that's perfect. Because that is, I mean, that is a part of it too. Just the lightheartedness of something, and he does other stuff, but I really look forward to his link shots and his fantasy shots, because I just think he owns that that whimsical fantasy genre.
Yeah,
really.
Yeah, his setups with he does a lot of great with the trees and the foliage, and like I said, the backlit stuff. I mean, I've yet to really explore doing that. I think it's awesome. I really want to try that. But yeah, this shot just really stood out to me for, like I said, all those reasons I said prior. Does wonderful work. Yeah.
Yeah, and it's sort of I know we're talking about light, but I like the framing, and he's kind of done this with light in that the back. If you look at the back of the princess, sort of the angle that she's at, a little bit of an angle there. The way he's either got her, well, I guess it's the way she's got her posed, and then that tree branch just creates a nice beam. Straight through onto the Goblin Slayer there. Just enough to illuminate her face, but really pulling the focus to her hand touching his shoulder, and that is kind of the focus of the shot. Her, whether she's saying goodbye to him, or he's just rescued her, or she's rescued him. I don't want to be.
Right. It kind of almost reminds me of, like, maybe you'd set up a stage, like blocking or something.
Right. Yeah. Exactly. Yep. Yeah.
So just all around wonderful work.
Yep, really excellent. Love Jay's work. Let me take a look, or Jerry's work. Sorry, I always want to call him Jay too.
He's Jay to me. Hope you're good with that, Jay.
This before, I will try and do this again.
One of the first ones, he did Link with the sword and stone, didn't he?
Yeah.
Man.
Yeah, there's so many shots of his that I really dig.
Hey, baby.
I will try. Like, I mean, he's all over the place. He's got Marvel. Does a lot of Marvel stuff. It's all beautiful.
Yeah, those Spidey shots are amazing.
Yeah.
Yep. He does use that backlighting. Too. That was a great shot. The Pennywise and
love that.
Just clever shot. Again, very very whimsical. Very nice.
Yeah.
But yeah, there was a link shot a while back that I think I featured on. But he uses rim light really, really well. he just knows what he's doing. It's really good, even with the underwater shots. Yeah.
I'm not 100% certain of this, but from what I understood in my conversations with Jerry is that he shoots on his phone.
You're kidding.
You serious?
Wow.
I think so. I don't want to, but if I'm not mistaken, I'm not 100% sure about this, but he shoots and edits on his phone. I'm not 100% sure, but we should hit him up to ask because I had conversations with him, and I think, if I'm not mistaken, he shoots on his phone.
Wow.
That's super
That's
impressive.
doubly impressive. I mean, to do that, you've really got to know what you're doing in terms of light.
At minimum.
And
I'll ask
yeah,
him.
to get the depth and stuff that you want, I'd have to go through and look at this stuff and just see if there's any kind of cue. Because just flipping through here, I wouldn't suspect that this was shot on a phone.
Yeah, that shot there. Yep. That backlight. That I think that might have been one of my my select
secondary choices.
my short list was
Mhm.
actually a long list at first. There's so many good shooters out there, but yeah, I just love that backlight.
Let's see. He might have a bind. This. What's he got going on here?
Might be wrong. I'll see. I just sent him a message. We'll see what he says.
Okay.
I was like, hey, man, do you shoot with your phone? I haven't talked to him in months, sadly.
Short and quick.
Oh, by the way, you're being featured on 1/6 Shooter Show.
I'm not going to tell you why, but I just
Oh,
want to know.
remember me.
Yeah, some more great backlight.
Oh,
He's just
so good.
really good with the backlight and the overhead light. Just he's very good. Very good at the lighting. Very good at the lighting. Excellent choice.
Cool.
And the shot that Nate took kind of reminded me like a memory. It's like she's reliving something. Like the guard isn't really there. That's why like there would be a change in light. Where she's actually in the gold. The rest of the picture is gold, and this is like an apparition of sorts.
That's a very cool interpretation. I like that.
That's a cool interpretation. Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
It's very isolating in memory, like just one of those moments where she remembers saying something to this person at that place.
Yeah, reaching out to sort of a ghost.
Yeah.
Nice.
Cool.
I like it. I dig that. Yeah, very cool.
Yeah. And you're right, Nate. I mean, just the cool and the warm light, it's just not something you always... I mean, if you're doing colored gels and things like that, to use a warm color and a cool color is one thing, but if you're just using white light, to mix the white and the warm is it's a nice thing to pull off. All right. Next up, we got Felton's pick, Elliot at BioJex photo. And hey, what perfect shot for this show, right? In our T-shirt collection. I've been seeing a lot of stuff with this figure. It's a great looking figure.
So cool.
This is really fantastic. And tell us why you picked this one.
Now, there were a couple of Elliot shots that I stuck with me. But I decided, let me just narrow it down. And I talked to you earlier about these two in particular shots that I was stuck on. It was definitely another Nosferatu shot. But this one here I went with because, just the way the angle of this light's hitting Nosferatu's face, it's more like, it's similar to your shot, Trevor, you did with Nosferatu, where it's almost like a reactionary shot.
Yeah.
To the light, he's
the hands are very expressive, so it really helps out with that stuff.
Very expressive. And he's hitting it in such a way, it looks like a 2-light setup. I could be wrong.
I would agree.
Yeah.
He's but it's hitting in a perfect spot to where you get the details on his wrinkles in his face. You can see the expression. It's just very, very. You can feel the agony in his face. That's what I got from when I saw this picture. Yeah. The composition, the framing's perfect. Elliot's got a really good eye for this. And
yeah, he really does. He really does. Yeah, I love this. It's I would call this like short Rembrandt lighting. It's Rembrandt in that it is a little bit of that. It's not quite a triangle, but this has got an unusual face, so there may not even be, he's kind of sunken, so there may not be much of a cheekbone there to hit, but he's just got enough of the eye socket there to call that Rembrandt.
Yeah.
And then it's short because, just for the audience, the long side of his face does not have the key light on it. The key light is on the shorter side of his face, so it's called short lighting, and it's Rembrandt lighting. So I would say it's short Rembrandt lighting, but it's also got that backlight that's just hitting the back of his face and just illuminating enough of it to get details in there, which is really, really nice. Yeah, it's a really nice contrast of light. It's really, really
like tungsten.
I just love the way it's hitting that on the side. At first, it is a light. At first, I thought he might have had a bounce card on it, but it's definitely a light in the back. But it's just so perfectly placed back there. And that's got to be a soft box, or it's got to be diffused, because that's just so nice and soft on that side of the face. Really beautiful.
Gleam. Look at the gleam in his eyes. It's just
The catch lights are great in the eyes, definitely. And that's, if you're hitting the eye, that's that. If you see somebody in a portrait, when it's hitting the light, or a couple of lights are hitting the eyes, that's a catch light. And he's got it in both eyes, which is what you want. And it's good. It's one single light. It's not a bunch of lights. It's not a big long. And these are tough eyes because they're big, round, black, rat-like eyes. So it's easy to get. It's got to be kind of it's a softball. He's got to have like a wide light though on that's going down his entire side. I mean, it's not a big figure or anything. It doesn't have to be that big, but it's just really good catch light he's got on there. It really looks really nice.
very good.
Yeah, love it. You guys digging it?
Oh, it's gorgeous. Yeah, I mean, I love the color tones. I mean, it is real nice and warm on the left.
Mm-hmm.
A little touch of cool up on the upper right there, on the back of his head, but it's phenomenal. And just I just love how it's lighting up the hands.
Yeah. I think it's like, like I hadn't seen this movie in years when I got this figure, and it was my first thought was like a warm light. And I've seen some people do like a warm and a cool on the side, which is kind of what I did in my shot. But it's just that has that enough of that noir feel. But that film had like a tint to it when I remember seeing it. It's got like kind of a warm tint to it throughout, and there's a lot of scenes where he's outdoors, so it's a little weird. Like I know it was day for night back then, and up until the 60s or 70s in film, like you couldn't film at night really. So it was supposed to be the night, but it just looked like the day. So yeah, it just lends itself. This figure looks so freaking good, and he just did a beautiful job of getting all the detail on that shadow side, that long side. It's just really, really nice. And you don't need any more than that little rim light he's got on the shoulder. He doesn't miss that, so that you don't get, it doesn't blend too far into the background, so you don't get an outline of sort of the hunch of his shoulder there. You still got that. You got the buttons to define the jacket, and and those hands are just so expressive. It's just a really, really nice shot.
Yeah, I want to shoot the hell out of this figure, and I feel like it's almost like when Baby Yoda figures came out. Like every one of my shots is gonna have the Baby Yoda in it, and I just want I try to spread stuff out so it's not all the same thing in a row, and then I just really want. I got so many thoughts and ideas, and people are killing it with this.
I know, and it's like it's one of those things that you almost have to break out of the genre for, not to discuss go down too deep in the rabbit hole with a figure, but like you almost have to break out of that. And you did that with this, like you just did it with your latest shot. You got to check out Nate's shot. The little humor with it, and it's really cool. Like that was different, and I like that, because I've seen a lot of shots that are trying to do the noir stuff, including mine.
Sorry about the cat, guys.
Kind of, sure. It just captures the feel of the film, which is you just want to do that with this figure.
For sure.
But I've been seeing people break out of that a little bit and doing their own thing with it, which is cool.
It's so much fun to do that. When I saw Nate's shot, I was like, shit, no, I can't do it either. But it's such a great. It's like you rang.
Yeah. It was just go check out Nate's latest shot with him.
Great.
Well, I appreciate that, but one of the things that I had that idea did pop. One of those things that pops in your head. I'm like, I got to do it. I got to find time to do it. And then I saw Tom Iavawatu talking about getting that in. He's like, oh, I've got an idea, and I hope no one does it before I saw that. Before I can shoot it. And I'm like, Yeah. Speaking of, I better get on my thought just in case.
Well, yeah, you ever, just as a side note, you ever have that thought of a shot that you're just like, oh my God, I got to do this really quick because I know somebody's going to think of this.
Yes. Yeah. That's exactly what that was. I kind of rushed into it, and I'm glad it turned out because it was pretty quick.
Yeah.
But it was funny. But it's such a
Elliot's killing it with this. These last three shots. I mean, there's not a bad shot here. This is beautiful too.
All of them so good.
Could have been this, and a lot of people have been playing with this, the coffin and the crack in the coffin, but he's look at the catch light. The catch light's great, and it's now generally when you're a portrait, you want it in both eyes, but I wouldn't want it in the other eye here because it's just adds that level of creepiness that you can only just see that one side of his face.
Yeah, that's a work of art. That looks like a painting. It's amazing.
Yeah, it's beautiful. It's beautiful. And Felton, this was the other one you were thinking about picking, right? Which is another great one. He's got to get a little color gradient to this. We're playing with that. I know he does some post work, which is perfectly fine. But great lighting. I mean, you can't fake that lighting. That's just
and the catch in the eyes, both eyes there, like you said. Trevor. Perfect.
Yeah, that's a tricky thing, and it's a lot of it's a thing people miss, especially with portraits sometimes. I mean, it's not as important if your main character is set back a little bit in the scene, but that's great.
He did great work with Pennywise as well. If you scroll down, he's got some very interesting stuff with Pennywise. Let's see. He's got one with Baby Yoda, which is funny.
So it's going a little slow. Oh, yeah.
There you go.
This is the Mezco Pennywise too, right?
Yeah.
That's great.
Felton had awesome stuff with Pennywise too.
Yes.
I remember waking up one morning and seeing that was my first shot. I almost shit myself because I'm not a horror guy at all. But I was like, holy shit! And that face, and I was like, all right, I'm gonna have breakfast now. But
that's really killing it with these horror figures, though. They're really good at it.
Yeah,
really good, man.
Yeah. If it wasn't against Trevor's rules to pick stuff from people on this show.
Yep.
I would have leapt at your guys' work for sure.
That's why we don't do it. But it'll come. Somebody will pick it, and we will talk about it. Yeah, he's just another guy. I mean, it was a great pick, Felton, because just another guy that really knows his way around lighting, for sure.
Yeah, sets the mood so good. Actually, Trevor, the one speaking of the Pennywise, the one right there on that was on my short list. Off on the left side there,
right below, right there.
Yeah. This one here, right here. Yeah.
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 Yep, I had that pick too.
Yeah.
That's the NECA though, right?
Oh, is it? Yeah, it is the NECA. Yeah, actually, I think both of those. The one we looked at last time was the NECA.
Yeah.
The Mezco looks good, but I think the face on the NECA looks a little bit better. Looks a little more menacing, I think.
Such a great capture.
Yeah.
Again, you watch this. I knew Felton was picking you, so I couldn't. So.
Oh.
So the love is all around.
That's all around. You gotta spread it around.
Exactly. Yeah, great stuff. Another excellent. I don't throw the word master around, but it's definitely got it mastered. The light, it's fantastic. All right, the final one I usually keep to myself and don't show anybody, which I probably should.
Yeah, we just did that one.
This is by one of my favorites. There's another guy who's a master. I feel light. Mo Yasin, I think it's a long underscore Yasin. It's right there. Just follow him. I will put links in the description down below to everybody's. And this is like his latest shot. And there's a couple I could have picked from him, and some that may have been, more complex and stuff. But I just really, the way he did this, and you got to go to his page to look at the behind the scenes because it's not photoshopped. He does in camera stuff. He posts to ACBA all the time, and that's all tangible. And there's a little tube, almost like a homemade snoot, and a small LED light that's inside it so that the rest of the light doesn't come from, it doesn't hit his arm in the back there, and it's just lighting up that little ring.
Wow.
I'm watching it now. It looks amazing.
Right?
Yeah, I saw this today for the first time, and just awesome.
Cool.
Yeah. And I mean, that's, this is a great figure to begin with, and I've seen a lot of people do some really, really great stuff with it. I own it. I've yet to shoot it. I really want to, but I keep seeing great stuff, and I'm like, I don't want to shoot this. But this I think just captures the feel of the movie, and maybe even more so, just more of a dramatic. I love the blue light coming from the right, and just the way he lit up that small area, which is really tough to do. I mean, you can get LEDs and stuff, but they're still omnidirectional, and they tend to go all over the place. So, he had to hit that light with a very tiny homemade wrapped piece of tape or paper or something, snoot, to get it to just light up that piece of his hand. And it's just great.
It was brilliant.
What's cool about the way he's telling the story too is that he placed Gollum facing left, which means that he highlights the fact that he was always living in the past, a prisoner to the ring that he found at a different time. So the future is something that's blue, something that's going to be evasive, something that's not elusive. So he's not ever he's turning his back on the future to live in this past moment. So even the framing and the way he decided to shoot the shot is really, really cool.
Dude, I want you to interpret every one of my pictures.
No kidding. I was like, what?
I really do.
I want to smoke.
I love your interpretations. I love it. And that's great. I mean, that's true. It's
awesome.
Amazing.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, just everything in the scene is great. I mean, I'm focusing on light, but it just, he's got enough of the little rocks in the back, and you don't need to see much else. He's got the diffused light. He's got a little fog there, or some atmosphere aerosol, whatever, coming in from the right to just, light that up. But the way his face is lit, beautiful. Just love everything about it. Mo's got some great stuff too. I don't know if any of you guys want to say anything else about it.
I can't top Jason's comment, so I'm out.
That was
All right.
That was some poetic shit, man. That was awesome.
No, but that's good. It's good.
Yeah.
It's
Love it.
Definitely true. That is cinematic setup too. I mean, it's exactly right. I mean, you can see, like, look, I think he's been using this technique lately. It's just a new.
Ooh, look at that Punisher shot with the light rays. Ooh.
Coming out of the skeleton there. I think that's the. That's another great shot.
It's very outside the box shot,
Mm-hmm.
Is that Punisher?
I
Metal Gear Solid. Okay, there you go.
Yeah, right. Yeah, Solid Snake. Yeah.
That's awesome. I can't do that. That's one thing I'm trying to work on is
The beams?
Yeah, I managed to get like a shot for the shot that I showed you. The light rays are actually in the image on my TV.
Right.
So there's a bit of trickery there, but I can't create those yet.
Gobo. You need a gobo, or you need a small. I mean, he's basically got a gobo in the shot, which is just the small slits in there, and then a super bright light on the outside of that, and then the fog, which is just, I'm sure he's just pushing through that.
Yeah.
It's going to happen. It'll just happen.
Looks great. I love it.
Yeah. I mean, he does. Look, I mean, I love this. I mean, this is
so great.
Yeah, I remember that shot.
Yeah.
You have a version of this too, Trevor.
I do. Yeah, I did that. That's an Alex Ross. But I mean, he did a couple, and he'll post if you look on ACBA, he'll post, and he may even have it in here. I don't know if he's got multiple shots in here or not. I know he's got some behind the scenes, which are always elaborate too.
Gosh, amazing.
Whoops, I think I went to the wrong.
Yeah, the setups he does for these kind of shots.
Yep.
Yeah, it's amazing.
I guess he didn't post, but he posted a couple of variations of colors that he was trying, and it's all. Oh yeah, there we go. See, I told him I loved that one, and then he went with this one. So what does that say? But I mean, that's fantastic too. I love his lighting.
His black and white stuff is.
You know, and this is and I'm not making, I'm just saying, I've seen this shot for Cyclops before, but everything about this just elevates it above many of the other such. I've seen some great shots of this, but
you can feel the heat on this one.
Right?
Yeah, precisely. I love that.
For sure. He's got a little, oh, no, that's not Nosferatu, that's Pennywise. Good take on it, though. That's great.
Oh, with Dustin up the stairs. That's awesome.
Yeah. But he's always playing with light, which I love about him. That's great.
Great silhouette work.
Right there.
That's good like that.
Yeah.
Beautiful.
Yeah.
Even that Batman Begins poster recreation, it looks great.
Yeah. I know our audience knows this, but it's like I just want to shout to everybody else. These are toys.
Right.
Like, look at that. It's like art. It's just phenomenal. They're toys.
Yeah, and he's lately been doing a lot of stuff that I love because it's out of the box stuff. And this is it's not risque. It's beautiful. I mean, it's really nicely done. But he's done some stuff that is not in the superhero vein. That's fantastic. Go check that out. I'm just trying to find. So here we go. Now these are toys underneath, a rubber glove, and it's just conceptual stuff which you could do. And I've seen people do not this exact concept, but with live actors or live models and things like that. But to do it with toys I think is really, really unique. Something like this.
Yeah,
it's just not your typical, superhero toy shot, which I really admire that he's taking some chances and doing some different stuff. It's really
he's a great artist.
Yeah, excellent stuff.
Love that stuff. It's really cool.
Hey, go back to that Scorpion one real quick, Trevor.
Scorpion right here.
Bottom. Oh, that one's good too. Jesus.
Oh, this one's great. I remember this one.
Wow.
So this was a concept of loss, and I'm not sure, and I mean, just maybe I should have picked this one, but because I love the light on this too, and this is a perfect example of contrast and working, and just he's hitting the right spot to show the emotion, and you don't really even need to see the details of the other figure. You see just enough of it to make it, creepy and sad all at the same time.
Very evocative, yeah.
Right?
Absolutely.
Really, that's one of his best shots. I think I love that shot.
Looks good.
Yeah. He's at what Scorpion? This one right here?
Yeah, that one right there.
Yeah. Beautiful.
That's beautiful.
That's like a poster, man. That's awesome.
We could downlight. And again, all this stuff, not that it's any better than doing it in Photoshop, but it's trickier and tougher that this is all practical stuff. So that the back is either, one of those moon, light up moon things, or it's, a light itself with some tissue over it or something, but all practical.
It's amazing because when I was in school, we learned a little bit about how film industries light sets a little bit.
Yeah.
And techniques, guys are using these techniques to light toys.
Absolutely. Yeah, absolutely. And I to keep the education going here, which is part of what the show is about. I've been watching some cinematography videos, techniques, and I just found one that was called, oh God, now it's going to escape me. I'm going to sound stupid. Cove lighting, which is it's basically bounce cards all along the bottom and the front, around the front of the actor, with lights bouncing off that. So that's the only light coming up on the actor is reflected light around the front of him, and maybe sometimes they'll light a window or something behind the actor. But there's some great tips on those YouTube, man. I tell people all the time, look at cinematography, look at portrait photography videos. It's all stuff you're going to learn it's all practical stuff. It's all lighting techniques and tips that you can learn that you can totally incorporate into all this stuff. And all these guys that we've looked at tonight, and women, that's what they're doing. They're incorporating all that stuff that's used in other types of photography. You don't have to just look for toy photography tutorials, although you should subscribe to mine. There's some other great stuff. You got to look outside the genre to kind of expand your horizons. So.
Absolutely, yeah.
You guys all do that? I mean, have you looked at other stuff and studied other things that besides, just looking at toy photography? I mean, you can learn a lot from the toy photographers that are out there and just looking at their stuff. One of the things I hope to do at some point is do a video on just dissecting a shot like we just basically did and said, oh, it looks like there's a light coming from the top right. Looks like he's got a backlight back there with a softbox. And as soon as you can start doing that, the door's open, man. Like that's the key to understanding, how people are getting these great shots.
Yeah. Now that the BTS is becoming more and more popular, I've learned a ton from it.
Yeah.
In that and this, I'm always usually super short on time when I shoot.
Okay.
So I've learned to not rush things just to post, just to get stuff up. Like take your time and experiment, and just try different shit. Just not only moving your camera around in different poses, but move your lights around. Try different, positions of the light. Try different diffusers, all that stuff.
Absolutely. And I was talking. I think we were talking on the first show about just the luxury of having. If you can have a set space for your stuff, I think Jason, Work More or Less, and I were talking about this. I'll leave stuff up. In fact, I'm looking at a set right now that I've had up for 3 days, and I still have not found the way I like to shoot to light it. I haven't spent much time on it, but well, Jason, I know you set up on like your kitchen table sometimes.
Yeah,
a lot of
kitchen table or
have the luxury,
living room.
which. Part of it is like, you almost have to say that because I admire it even more because you get some incredible shots and with a limited amount of time that you have to set it up. And that's just impressive all in it itself. But I know that you do play with light and you do move things around. You just do it in the time you have to do it. And you have to focus on it, which is just the hard part. If you have the luxury of just like, I'm not feeling it, I'm walking away right now, that's great. But definitely, like Nate said, do experiment with the light. Move things around. Don't be afraid to try things. Don't be afraid to go back and look at somebody else's shot and try to dissect it and say, how did they get this feeling out of that? Even if I don't want to recreate the shot, but I just want to try and get that same feeling out of it. How did they do this light?
And I'd even like look back on previous shots of your own, like look back and just don't be afraid to be just say like, what do you wish, I know, but what do you wish you would have done differently? What you wish you would have done differently on that shot? Okay. So you can almost learn from, to me, that's helped me. Like I look back
and the great thing about taking the BTS, Nate, that you just said is if you take them even if you don't want to show them for any reason, for whatever reason whatsoever, to take them for yourself, that you can go back and you say, I really love the way that came out.
Yep.
You're never, trust me, ever going to remember how you set this up and where you put lights unless you take a shot of it for yourself. And just put it in the archive. If you organize your shots, put a BTS folder in with the shot and say, this is the setup. Back way up and say, literally from the top of the table, like here, this light was here, this light was here, that light was there.
Yeah,
it's going to help you out in the future for sure.
Yeah, I know like Richie does an awesome job on his BTS and labeling things too.
Mm-hmm.
Like if you even have the time just to do that, just for even like you said, for your own notes.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, when I'm doing product shot type shots, like I'm doing the Mythic Legions things, and there's certain ones that they're just on black, and I have to get them looking all the same from shot to shot, and I can't shoot 120 figures all at once, without breaking.
I'd be happy to help you out with that.
But I had to take shots. Like I tried it a couple times, and I'm like, God damn it, these aren't looking the same. So I had to take a shot. I literally, just like you said, had to label like this is at this Lumicube's at 20% or something like that, and this one's at 40% with a warm filter and stuff like that. Because if I don't do that, it's going to be completely different. It's not
lose your consistency. Yeah,
you're right. Notes are great too. There's a little more work than just setting it up and taking a shot. I mean, granted, that's the way people are going to start. But if you're serious about it and you want to get more into it, all these tips are great.
Yep,
for sure.
And as much, like you just said, the word serious, as much as we take this serious, and as many times I know we've all said, like, thank God I was in the house by myself, because I said a lot of choice words extremely loud. And then I stopped myself and said, God, I'm taking a picture of a toy. You're supposed to have fun.
I don't get
supposed to have fun, right?
You don't get angry?
Effective.
Seldom.
I always get pissed.
It's just my Nosferatu Harry Potter shot. Like, it wouldn't stand up, and that was the first time in like I think a year that I actually was really getting pissed off at it, because
the Nosferatu stand up.
Got a better handle.
The Nosferatu was fine. It was the Harry Potter wouldn't hang, like, because I was trying to get him to lean on Nosferatu, and he was just falling over every time. And then at one point, I just moved quickly and I whacked them both, and they both fell. And I was like, "Come on!"
The frustration multiplied times 10 outside. You shoot outside.
Yeah, you shoot on the balcony, man. That's got to be something.
God, that's scary. Nerve wracking.
I don't shoot outside.
He has a Clint Eastwood shot on his railing, and I was like, "Oh boy!" Just a gust of wind.
You're a nut, man, because I'll tell you that Nosferatu figure, the shot that I did, he fell over at least 7 times. And I did swear loudly. Like, my wife heard me say, "Motherfucker." And it was loud, and it it does come off as ridiculous, because, like, really, what are you doing down there that requires kind of but when it happens 7 times in a row, and you've got them in the perfect pose, and you've got the light hitting them just the right way, and those ankles just give out, even though you've, like, basically tacked them to the floor. And
I know. Every precaution necessary. Trust me, I'm a trained idiot, so
that's why I turned to this.
No, I very seldom get angry when I'm taking the shots. I was actually. I plan out for a couple of days usually. I don't like set up, like, this one was sad to take down, because we have to live in the living room. And so, because it was such a nice setup, I was happy, the trees looked great and all that stuff, and I was like, oh good, the shot looks good.
Yeah.
And I spent I got up at 5:30, had my coffee, because I'm up at 5:30 every day, and then after that, like, roughly around 6 o'clock, I got my table out, started setting up. I had already started preparing the poses the night before on my kitchen table, put them away so that the cats can get to them. And that's it. I just started slowly setting up, and everything just kind of went really well. And so by 11, I was done shooting, and I just had to kind of put it in Photoshop, put it together, and everything was done. And I was like, oh, this is the first time in a long time that it was just like piece of cake.
That's
you said you had so many hours to do that. Maybe that's the difference, because when I saw that shot, first of all, I was like, holy, that's amazing. My second thought, to be honest with you, was like, I can't even imagine tackling something like that without losing my mind. But to have that much time, that's awesome. And namaste, that's great. You got that. Good.
It's fun. I don't know. I'd rather be doing that than anything else, to be honest. So when I take it down. So I'm looking forward to it.
It's great when it comes together like that, for sure.
Absolutely.
Yeah, but that's like one of the things, like, a lot of the ACBA guys, some of them, it's like, put that set together and then keep that up and take multiple shots, because you've taken the time, and it is smart thought.
Yeah.
You've taken the time to put this set together and put all these pieces in place, take multiple shots, and I never do that.
Yeah.
Oh, I get that.
I was thinking the same thing. My last Nos shot, that's the first time I busted out the Commissioner Gordon with the bat signal. And I had it set up, and I'm like, God, now that it's set up, I should at least do a Batman shot, right?
Yeah.
No, but I didn't. I took it all down, put it all away. Stupid.
I think it's the people. Well, I think it's when you approach it, and it sounds like most of us here approach it from. At least Jason just said it. Like, I have a concept in my head, and this is the shot that I want to do.
Yep.
That's the way I approach it. Like, this is the shot I want, and now I don't just want to sit with the set and say, "Hey, what else can I do with this?" No, I've got the shot. I'm done. Right. All I want to do now is break this down and have like a clean piece of paper, basically, and like. Let's go to something else.
Yeah, what's next? But
it doesn't cross my mind, but it is stupid because a couple weeks later I'll be setting up the same thing because
what were you saying?
My light setup from yesterday is still downstairs, ready for another shot. So,
oh yeah,
is this too much? Is this too much to clean up?
Yeah,
it is. It's the best way to go. It's a smart way to go.
That's a smart way.
Yeah, it is.
I'm going to learn from Felton and Jason and be calm.
That's luxury, though. I have to clean up every time. There's like a Paige. He now has these like bins that I got as well, where he puts his Mezco figures in it, and I was like,
picked up one of those. Yeah.
There's no way I'm putting my Mezco figures in there. I put them back in the box. That's where they sleep.
Oh,
I put everything back in the box except for my.
Dude, oh my God. Yeah. That's a time-consuming thing, then.
Jason, I do the same thing with my Mezco.
There you go.
They're too precious.
If I had a setup like you in the back, they'd all be out. That's for sure. But for now, like we're still in an apartment, putting money aside for a house. Once I get a dedicated space, like an office or something like that, where I can leave setups up for time and time, where I can plug in my lights and just have that table. I'll probably keep my kitchen table. I hate it, but it's great for toy photography.
Yeah. It obviously is. Yeah. It's great to have that dedicated space, but. Wow, I just picked up those bins. Side note to just basically put some stuff away that I don't have any room for anymore. But
the cool bin.
I don't like putting away the Mezcos. Not to get off on a tangent, but like I think I have to see what I have in order to think about what I want to shoot. Like sometimes I'll just sit in the room and go, okay,
yeah,
what's it gonna be? What's it gonna be?
Oh man,
and that's the beauty of that Nosferatu. It comes with so many little accessories.
Yeah.
Mice or rats?
Yeah,
rats are great.
Yeah,
that's gonna be fun to add to like a city scene from now on.
They sure, have great props.
Absolutely.
I had cats and dogs and stuff like that, but now rats. Yes.
Yeah. Absolutely. Well, we've gotten on the topic of light a little bit, but that's okay. This is a great conversation, and I really appreciate
light conversation, Trevor.
It is a little. Oh, you're right. Look at man, dude. You're like a poet.
No, I teach literature and cinema, so these are all terms that I use regularly.
I actually forgot that. That's true.
Wow. I'm cheating.
Really, that's great, man.
We need a virtual class, Jason.
What's that?
I want to sign up for a virtual class.
Wow, chances are you can have. Yeah, no problem. I'll give you the feed, man. It's going to be for free because we're going to be teaching from home in the fall.
Yeah, I'm sending 2 kids to college in the fall, and I'm just waiting for we got to come home now.
Yeah. Exactly.
Scary. Anyways, another tangent, not to go there.
Well, I want to thank all you guys for taking the time out on a school night to come and talk about this. It's been great. Check out everybody's feed, Jason B. Michael, Yasky79, at Corona4. And then I'll have a list of all the people that we featured on this down in the description below. Hit the subscribe button. Hit the alert button so that you'll know when another video comes up. And thanks for watching. Really appreciate it, guys. Take care.
Thank you. Thanks for having us.
All right. Thanks, Trevor. Appreciate it.
Thanks so much, man.
All right, guys.
Cheers.